Welcome back. Now, Ricky Gervais, one-trick pony or comic genius? We discuss after this clip.
Morning, Shelley.
Hi, Mark. I realize more and more every day how overqualified I am for this position and how incompetent you are at yours.
Any messages?
Now, Ricky Gervais not only stars in The Invention of Lying, but he also shares a writing and directing credit, and it has been described by The Hollywood Reporter as one of the autumn's funniest films. Honest. Hurrah! At last, we have a British comedian who's doing well on the world stage. Or do we? You've seen it, Jamie. Has he got it right this time?
Invention of Lying isn't a movie I particularly like. I think the high concept is great. It's set in a world where everyone has to speak the truth, so it's lots of those kind of Ricky Gervais social embarrassment moments.
Yes, I'm with him right now. No, not very attractive. No, doesn't make much money.
And it's Gervais doing what we've seen him do many times, the same sort of little...
A bit fat.
...grimaces, the same kind of little smiles he does.
Funny little snub nose.
I don't think the way forward for him is high-concept romantic comedy starring opposite Jennifer Garner. America knows it likes Ricky Gervais, but I'm not quite sure Hollywood knows what to do with him.
No.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, if you look at, like, Lee Evans, who did Mouse Hunt and who was a bit sort of smaller part in Something About Mary.
Something About Mary, yeah.
They don't really work that well. And the Peep Show guys, there's something that's not working, there's something that's not really translating.
If you look at the history of something like Saturday Night Live, it's amazing how many people... It's a conveyor belt from Bill Murray, Chevy Chase, Steve Martin, whoever. They all go on, they have amazing movie careers. And then you think about England, right now, probably the most talented man on the circuit, on the comedy circuit, someone like McIntyre, Michael McIntyre.
Yes, it is a beautiful day, isn't it? 68 degrees.
But can you imagine him being in a Hollywood film as a leading man? Not at all.
And maybe the closest we get to them actually capturing who that person is Russell Brand, who I think is going to be a brand.
Never seen anything quite like it.
I think when, you know, they saw him as Old as Snow, they thought, there's a spin-off movie, because that's very kind of groovy
What about
Brand.
someone like Sacha Baron Cohen? Because he obviously, the difference with him is the other people go in Hollywood films and they're given whatever they get and they have to work with it. But Sacha Baron Cohen seems to create his own films. He goes off, he uses his own persona. It's all about him.
And he's done both as well, because he's done his own creations, but he's also done serious roles in Sweeney Todd. He's also done comic foil roles in Talladega Nights. So, I mean, he's shown a real range there, and he seems to have found his feet, I think, in Hollywood.
I tell you what I think is fascinating as well is that Funny People came out, which is Judd Apatow, and that sort of knockabout, spontaneous comedy seems to be more appealing, I think, for British stars.
Fight like a man, would ya? I don't know how to fight, I'm a comedian!
And yet Funny People had no British stand-ups in it.
Apatow's way of working is this very improvisational style, so it's basically him and all his mates sit around and have a chat, which is why when you watch the DVDs, there's like hours and hours and hours of extra footage. And I wonder if there's a kind of a lack of trust or lack of faith.
Because there's something about you that I don't understand, and I hate things that I don't understand.
You look at someone like Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell has made 4, 5, 6 very successful, in box office terms, movies. And with each subsequent film, he ad-libs more, he goes more out there, he tries more, because he clearly now feels safe, and the director feels safe to let him do that. Whilst I think if you're a British comedian and you're in your first Hollywood film, you haven't got the room to manoeuvre like that. You can't go off on one, I think, you know, and therefore you end up becoming sanitised a bit.
So then, looking at the current crop of hot British talent, who do you think has got any staying power amongst them?
For me, it's Simon Pegg for the everyman quality.
I think Sacha Baron Cohen has already proved he's got range, and I think that he'll continue to show that.
I think for leading man quality alone, I think Russell Brand, basically.